Welcome to I'd Play That for $1, powered by the World 1-1 Podcast Network. We are the internet's premier budget-friendly gaming podcast. I am your host, Larry the Bearded Wonder. Joining me this week are my friends Kathleen.
Hello.
Todd Oxtra.
Good day, mates.
And Chris John.
Oh, hi.
Todd's apparently Australian this week, and I'm okay with it.
Sometimes.
So, if you are brand new here, I'd Play That for $1 is one of the newest podcasts from the World 1-1 Podcast Network, where we do rapid roundtable reviews of games that we picked up for $1 or less and let you know if we'd play that for $1 or suffer a fate worse than death wanting our Nickelback. So, let's dive in. Kathy, since you didn't get to join us for the last one, how about diving in first? What you got for us? What have you been playing for less than $1?
So, well, I feel like I'm kind of cheating here because I didn't play this one, and there's a very good reason why I didn't play this one. But I have seen people play it, and and it's free, and I definitely think it's a game people should have in their library, especially before it becomes something that you have to pay for. And that game is Doki Doki Literature Club.
Okay.
Now, there's a reason why I won't play it, because I don't do well with things that get creepy and scary, which on the surface, this game does not look like it would do that. But the more you play it, the more weird things start happening. And I don't want to spoil too much. And I think I think we're maybe past the point of spoilers, because I think it did blow up.
Yeah, it did.
And so some people probably already know what happens. And I know the game theorists did a couple of theories on the game. So, but like I said, I haven't played it, but it is in my Steam library because I wanted to make sure I did have it in case I ever get the courage to play something like that. I don't do well with like horror type games and spooky type games and games that mess with your psyche. So that's why I haven't played it. But the premise is so intriguing, and the fact that there is so much that the developers went so in depth with this game that it's definitely and it's free. I mean, yes, there is a paid version on Steam. I think that goes in a little bit more detail with which I haven't looked into. But for the free base game, it is definitely worth having in your library, and definitely worth just sitting there. Just pick it up before they start charging. That way you get the chance to play it if you ever feel the need to scare yourself. So again, that's Doki Doki Literature Club. Like I said, I found it on Steam. And yeah, that's my game.
Is it a visual novel?
So Doki Doki Literature Club is basically you play as this character who joins an after-school literature club that has 4 girls, and you're going through and you're trying to woo one of the girls. Now, during this process, some strange things start happening, and trigger warning, there are again mature topics such as suicide and self-harm. But during the course of this, strange things start happening as you replay the game. So again, it starts off very simple. It seems like it's just this novel that you're following through, and you make choices and as you're trying to woo the girls of the club. But then once you get past the first stage, strange things begin happening to the game. And I don't want to go any further than that. So
I just pulled up the Steam page for this, and it looks like the most anime visual novel in the world, and it says Literature Club is full of cute girls. We write the rain of the heart, and then the next line is, this game is not suitable for children, those who are easily disturbed. I'm like, what?
Yeah, no, it gets some really weird, bizarre stuff.
And
like
this weird.
Game takes you into like the coding for the game itself to unravel the mystery of what's happening. It pulls like some really neat meta stuff. Yeah.
Are they secretly cannibals?
No.
No.
Okay, good to know.
No, but let's just say you'll never look at anime girls in the same way again.
Oh, Jesus. Or is this audition? Is this like the anime audition?
No,
it's not. Okay. Thank God.
No.
I know, and I can speak to that. It gets into some really like self-aware fourth wall breaking stuff. That's really
okay. Got it.
That's what
have you guys played Pony Island?
No.
What was that?
I
have
haven't
you played
but
Pony
I'm
Island?
familiar.
No.
Okay.
It's that kind of weird.
This type, I was gonna say because this feels like Pony Island, which I believe is free to play on EA Play if you have the Game Pass version. It's a game that will blow your mind apart, and you're like, "What am I playing?" And it's fourth wall breaking, and it's so weird. But it's kind of like this Pony Island. It sounds so fun, and
right.
Yeah,
okay.
that's kind of like
those
this.
weird places that you do not expect.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because I've heard of this, but I'm like, I didn't even know what it looked like, and thank you for bringing it up again.
I'm just going to read one of the reviews I see on Steam. It says, "This game is free, but the therapy is not." So.
That review's worth $1.
Right. Definitely. Find whoever made that review and pay that man.
See,
it's free on Steam though, but there's a DLC that's $10. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there was a different. Yeah, they've added more to the game. So, like I said, I caught it. I saw it on Steam when it started blowing up, and I was like, "Oh, this looks really kind of weird." This literature club, and then as I want to do if I don't want to, play a game, because I started hearing some rumblings about it, so I watched somebody play it, and I'm like, oh yeah. See, I can pause, whereas in the game I wouldn't be able to. So.
Wow.
So yeah, so I'm kind of cheating. Like I said, I have not actually played it, but I have watched a full playthrough of it. And if I ever get the courage to play it, yes, but it is in my library. It is definitely one to have, even if you never play it. Just have it sit in your library, ready to go, in the case you just want a nice, friendly chat with some girls, anime girls.
Right.
You should definitely stream this.
I would tune in for that, definitely.
I'm still trying to stream games like Five Nights at Freddy's and Resident Evil. There's games that I have a hard time, like, forget. It's like, nope. One of these days. I don't do well with jump scares. I scream louder than, the character who's screaming at you.
Oh, good.
I was cursing Larry when I was playing one of the Metroid games, and the Metroids would jump out at me.
Yeah. Yeah, they had a couple that like popped out of the ground, and that was fun. So all told though, play that for $1?
I would play that for $1. I actually would get the DLC too. I would go with the $10 DLC because it is that good of a game.
Nice. All right, Chris, what you got this week?
Well, I've got this game called Absolute Drift. I got this from Epic Games. It was free at the time, but the base price for this which is kind of odd, on Steam is $5.99, and on Epic it's $11.99. And what it is like a top-down racer, akin to like the older. I'm trying to think of like the older
like
racing
RC
games.
Pro-Am?
Yeah, something like that. And it's just a very simple but pretty game where you take this little car, which I think they're trying to make it resemble like an old Toyota Terreno, like 86 car, like from I don't know if anyone's an anime fan, from like Initial D. It looks very similar to that car, and you're just going through these levels and drifting the car and doing some fun stuff. It's just very that's pretty much it. That's the point of the game, is just to drift the car and get some style points. And it's I think the same developers just came out with another game called Art of Rally. So yeah, and again, that's another very pretty, again, simplistic style, art style and stuff like that. But this is a fun game. Definitely it can be a time suck, because you're like, oh, I could do that a little bit better, and then you're just constantly like pushing yourself to get better and better at the runs. So this is definitely a game I would pay that for $1. Play that
story,
for $1.
Chris?
I'm sorry. There is no story. It's just progressing through
Spoiler
progressing through
warnings
the
on
level.
No Story.
Is it the prequel to Tokyo Drift?
It's the because Tokyo Drift. Yes,
There you go. We
that's
nailed
what
it.
happened. That's what happened.
It features the world's lowest res version of The Rock.
Yes, you finish the game and it starts playing Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. So,
Perfect.
Awesome.
but yeah, that's my game for this week.
Nice. And Todd, what you been playing over there?
Oh, let me tell you. I was playing a
Do
game.
tell me.
I wasn't sure if I would like it or not. It's called Hand of Fate 2 by Defiant is the name of the developer. It's $30 on Steam and consoles, and I got it for free on the Epic Game Store. This game, at first, it drew me off because I'm like, what type of game is this? Because it shows cards as one of the parts of the game style. I'm like, I hate gameplay with cards. It just throws me off. It's like, I don't want that. Typically, you run out of cards or you don't have the right cards, so then it's like, oh, you're killing me. I'm not enjoying this game anymore. But it does something different. So they describe it as a living board game of infinitely replayable quests. In a way, you're essentially... It's a action hack and slash game, but all of the choices are done through the game master, who's your narrator, and he's laying cards out, and you basically, as your choices happen, like, should you protect somebody? Yes. Okay. Well, go ahead and go into the battle then. That's your choice. And then after the battle, after you've won the battle or lost, it's hack and slash, you go in and you lay out the cards, and then there's going to be 3 cards which are success. 1 is fail. He turns the cards over, shuffles them up, and you have to pick, and that's kind of your reward, which then gives you health or weapon upgrades, things like that, or rewards your choices that you made to do something good or bad, which I thought was fun. So it's like the cards only play out in choices and things like that, but not the actual mechanics of playing the actual battles, which I found really compelling. I thought was really neat. It's a really nice looking game. The writing's really well done, and I actually streamed this one for part of Extra Life yesterday. So if you want to see gameplay with me talking over and being stupid, that's done. But I really like this. I really thought it was fun. Really fun, unique gameplay. And this is number 2, so I'm not sure what they changed from the first one, which I don't have any experience with.
Right. My first question was going to be what happened to Hand of Fate 1. My second was going to be, this looks hella dope.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I missed it.
Yeah, from the description you gave, actually, this kind of reminded me of another game that is like a card game, but not. And Chris, this is one you might want to check out because you could totally double dip on it for I'd play that for $1 and 1H1D. Sort of.
Okay.
Because it's not technically on Game Pass, but Xbox offered it for free. A game called Phantom Dust.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I love Phantom Dust. So, but if you want it, I won't take it. I highly recommend checking it out if it's anywhere of interest. But if not, I'll totally take that up one of these days. But no, that looks really fucking cool.
And Chris and I were talking before, and we were talking about it. He's like, cards? Ugh. And I'm like, no, it's more than cards. He's like, okay.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not abject to card games today, though. So
yeah,
you kind of had me interested right from the moment you're like cards.
I'll try them, but like I feel the same way as you, Todd. Like it's either the cards run out or you just have like crappy cards in your deck, and you're like, okay, well, this sucks. So. But yeah, Phantom Dust, that was a game that they were supposed to do like a sequel or something like that, right? And then they canceled it.
Yeah, the sequel got nixed, and then they ended up essentially releasing an up-resed version on the Xbox One for free.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I actually have this game. I actually own it. So that's good.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
Cool.
So, all told, Todd, what's the verdict? Play that for $1?
I'd play that for $1. So no Nickelback for me. I don't have to say a lyric.
We can avoid the dreaded Chad Kroger card. Imagine going through a tarot deck and suddenly you turn over a card and it's just Chad Kroger.
No.
Like, what does this mean?
He's like, what did I do to people? I'm just in a band.
Right.
And now we're taking full advantage of it.
Exactly.
Right. So what did I play this week? I played Rimelands. What is it? Hammer of Thor, I think it was the subtitle, but it's called Rimelands, Rimelands. Yeah, Rimelands Hammer of Thor. And this you can find it for like $10 on the Switch. And I don't know how to get into this nicely, but this was, I don't think it's inherently a bad game, but it is definitely not my cup of tea. So it plays kind of like somewhere between a top-down tactics RPG game and like a tabletop dice game or dice and board game. So you're running around and it's turn-based but not, so you kind of free run around until you run into other characters to fight, and then you run up to them, and essentially running into them you start like throwing dice to see how much damage you're going to do, and then they throw dice to see how much damage they're going to block. You get like one chance to re-roll if your first roll sucked, and it's just kind of a weird like back and forth thing. And my brain kind of went, this could be like an actual board game and would be kind of neat. But as a video game, this just wasn't moving the needle for me. Like, there was a whole story and everything going on that the gameplay felt a little not my thing enough to make me not care about what was happening in the story. And it just felt very arbitrary as to how combat would come out. Like, there was nothing that I could do really to positively or negatively impact it, that it was all up to a throw of the dice, quite literally. And so, not to mention, I felt like they did a real poor job of kind of explaining all the extra minutia that you'll get into eventually, of, getting other weapons and equipment and spells and stuff. Like, I played for maybe like an hour and a half, and honestly, I still couldn't figure out how to like use this spell thing that I got. So that just kind of left me stumped. I'm like, look, I'm 90 minutes deep into this and I'm just not having it. So I put it down and I moved to the next thing. But this one just wasn't doing it for me. But if like, tabletop, board and dice game kind of thing is your thing, you might actually get something out of this. So not that it's inherently a bad game, but it's definitely not a for me game, and that's okay too. So for me, I hate to say it, but this is how you remind me of, this is how you remind me of times when I played better games.
Aww.
So, or at least better for me games. How about that? Better for me.
Is it a precursor there, Chris?
Maybe.
Bad things on the horizon. Oh my goodness.
Oh Lord. Well, boys and girls, we've done it again. We've made it all the way around the table, and I've had a wonderful time getting into whether or not we would play that for $1 on dirt cheap games. And I want to say thank you to all my friends, Chris and Kathy and Todd, for coming and hanging out with me this week and playing potentially awful games or maybe finding some hidden treasures. And I want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in this week, and that we'll see you next week. And we love having you. And that I'd Play That for $1 is powered by the World 1-1 Podcast Network, where you should press start to engage your mind. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.